Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Supernatural Selection. I'm your host, Kevin the Bastard. With me this week are Mike the Skeptic. Mike, how you doing, buddy?
Knee deep in rum. That's how I'll describe my evening.
That's awesome. I am about ankle deep in some bourbon. So, I figured this would, weekend weird. Why not do that? And, of course, we also have Mr. David Davis. David, how are you, buddy?
Well, I want to apologize for saying controversial things. I did not mean to propose gelding, but I did mean to propose firing people into the sun.
Okay. What?
It's more fun that way because it has rockets.
Okay, what was this in reference to?
Well, you can geld someone with rockets. That would be really fun.
Let me rephrase that. The fuck did I miss?
I don't know. I recall me talking about gelding Joe Rogan listeners.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yes. Okay. No. Firing them into the sun is much better. I know some Joe Rogan listeners that are casual listeners.
Ripping their cojones off with rockets, though, is also equally fun.
Now, folks, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go on Google and look for rocket gelding. It's a liberal conspiracy. And
it's kind of like when you pull a tooth out by tying a string to it and tying it to a doorknob.
Oh, yeah, you just tie their balls to a rocket?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, awesome. Also, after that little bit of madness, we have a special guest this week. We have with us, would you say you're a writer or a comic writer, Robert?
I would say I am a writer, generally. I mean, I mostly do comics, yeah.
Yeah, well, we have writer, who I have had the pleasure of working with as an inker, Mr. Robert Livingston. Robert, first off, welcome to Supernatural Selection. We're extremely happy to have you here. I've known you for probably a couple of years now. You're a great...
I think it's been like maybe 3 at this point.
Something
around that time frame, yeah.
That's crazy.
But I'm happy to be here.
We're glad to have you, man. It's always great to have you. Any situation where I can actually talk to you is great. So... welcome to the Weekend Weird. David's going to conduct our interview because he's so much better at writing that sort of stuff. And, me and Mike can throw some questions in. Now, you do 2 comics that I absolutely adore, though. Tom and Artie.
Yep.
And Kaiju Days.
Well, does Kaiju Days really count yet? Because all that has been uploaded is a bunch of shorts, and we're working on the full first issue.
Yeah, but
you have a bunch of one-panel comics, so we're going to label it as a comic. But, in that regard, then, go ahead and tell us what your plans are regarding Kaiju Days, because I think that's really interesting.
Oh, my God. Where do I even begin? Because the plans for this project have changed so much over the years. I'm trying to remember when I first got the idea for the project. I think it was back in maybe 2017-ish. It was way different back then. Back in 2017-ish, it was it was actually called President Kaiju. Okay. And back when it was President Kaiju, it was originally meant to be a little bit more of a serious project, which would have been about a kaiju that decided he was going to turn Monster Island into a sovereign nation because kaiju attacks were not working against humanity anymore.
So they were literally going to go and running on the platform of our attacks will be successful. We will bring down the humans.
Like around like that.
Oh, that's great. I love that idea.
Well, for those of our listeners who may not be familiar with kaiju, of course, are based on Japanese giant monsters.
Right. Yeah, I actually had someone ask me what kaiju were today while I was talking about tonight, and I had to explain. Kaiju is basically the genre of film that involves Godzilla or Gamera or what have you. So it's your giant rubber suit monster, basically.
Right. Yeah. Go ahead and continue, Robert.
Yeah, but I didn't pursue with the idea for President Kaiju at the time, which was because actually, now I think about it, this was probably around 2016, because it was around when the first election, was going on, and I didn't want to release that and have people think I was trying to make parallels to the election, because I wasn't.
Let me tell you, that certainly ran quite a few plans astray.
Yeah, so I held off on it. I didn't reformat it until, I would say, 2018.
Okay.
It was around 2018 when I decided to reformat the project.
No, let me ask, what was the impetus for the current iteration? Like, what was the basic idea? What started that train of thought?
That train of thought, I think it was because at the time I was doing Byte at the time, which was a little bit more of a serious kind of project. But when I was working on Kaiju Days in its current iteration, I did have Big Mama originally planned in the President Kaiju iteration, and she did have a focus in the project itself, where she would have played more of she was a supporting role, but she would have been like kind of an egging on role, where she was going to be egging on the main character into like direct warfare with humanity and shit like that.
Right, and what I like about it is that you've basically crafted a kaiju sitcom. I was just writing something today about that sitcom Mama's Family, based off the Carol Burnett show, and Kaiju Days reminds me of like Mama's Family, but like as on Monster Island, which I thought was just like super interesting. And one of the things I really appreciate is because I've helped you with the project a little bit, like pitching gags and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I love how receptive you are to just really dumb little sight gags where they're using like human technology as like little tools of convenience, like toothbrushes.
That was always that was actually
thing,
that was a rule I put in there later on as I figured it out more. Was because I wanted to do this whole thing where, you know, the kaiju will not use anything that is just a larger version of a human object. It has to be something that's like a human vehicle,
it's sort of
a building or something
idea
that has to be converted for like regular use.
Right. Like one of my favorite images is the three kaiju posing to take a selfie using a news helicopter.
Yeah, that was with Pistania, Valley, and Butte.
Yes.
And no, go ahead. Ask me.
Oh, okay, yeah, because that brings up a good question, because you're doing a project involving giant monsters. So I guess the inevitable question, you know, as it fits to this podcast, like, what is your belief in cryptids and monster type entities? Do you believe in them at all? Do you think there's evidence of them?
I used to research like cryptids all the freaking time when I was in high school.
Yeah,
like it was always something I'd be reading on my phone. That time I was knee deep in researching cryptids and the paranormal and stuff like that.
Yeah,
where it was a lot of late nights I would stay up reading about that stuff because I always thought it was fascinating as hell.
Absolutely. I mean, that's why this show exists.
I always thought it was fascinating as hell, but I always found it funny where it appears that after a certain point in time, suddenly the sightings and everything just completely died down. Mostly died off. Around, I would say, late 90s was suddenly, now people are reporting it less, people are talking about it less. But I heard someone kind of say something. Was someone going to go into that?
I was just going to say, there are still sightings, but like it's definitely, there's been a lot of changes in the world of cryptids and the paranormal since about the time the X-Files really came out.
Would you say it was because the X-Files kind of successfully convinced people that if you believe in this shit, you're crazy?
I think it's because it came to the forefront and it sort of went into hiding in a way. But that's just me. That's something I'm going to go into later, and Mike can tear that apart because that is the dumbest idea I've had. Back me up, Mike. That is a stupid idea, right?
Well, and then the other thing is, like, technology, the way that technology increased over the course of, like, a decade, from, like, the late 1980s to, like, the end of the end of the 90s, like, portable photography and that sort of thing just increased the growth of cell phone networks, everything like that, and it kind of took away that mystery and ambiguity from the world.
Yeah, but now we have cameras that have HD quality, and yet we're still recording UFOs that are blurry as shit.
Right, and some things.
Well, you're
some
zooming in on pixels, man.
Well, they just have to. They know they have to stay further away.
Yeah, and they're blurry by nature.
But and also how these things kind of change based on the time. So we've talked about that idea of like these, like cryptids, UFOs, and everything like that being part of something we call the superstructure. Have you ever heard of that? Robert?
No, I haven't heard that theory.
You
Oh, no.
probably won't
Oh, no.
until you listen to us
It's probably
going insane.
either I haven't heard it referred to as that, or when you start talking about it, I'm gonna know what you're talking about. So go ahead.
But Mike, you had something to say there.
Oh, geez, I have now forgotten it.
Curses.
Ginger,
Mike
don't
has
you-
such. God damn it, the cats. But the superstructure is the basic idea that there's an underlying structure of reality that we're only a part of, and that there's a realm layered just on top of us that surrounds us. And these things are there, and every now and again we get bleed through and see them, and the way we perceive them is all based on the observer.
I think I've heard of that theory before, mostly when it came to research about Skinwalker Ranch.
Yes. Oh God.
Yeah.
We still got to do our giant Skinwalker Ranch episode.
We should have you on for Skinwalker Ranch, Robert. I think you'll enjoy that one with us.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be fun.
So you talked about how you would do research in the paranormal and cryptids and that sort of thing. What were your favorite subjects to research?
It was either UFOs or it was generally cryptids in either the woods or underwater. The only thing is that when it came to researching cryptids that were submerged, there was not as many that would be talked about. I mean, there would be like some cool stories you would hear about, like what was it? There was that one account during World War II. I think during during a bombing mission from the sea, they once blew some creature out of water that they had in the water for a few seconds that they have never seen before.
Yes, and they never were able to find it again. I know exactly the one you're talking about. Robert, are you and I in fact the same person?
No.
Okay, just check.
I don't have a bitchin' beard like yours.
Okay, I just want to make sure that they weren't cloning me, and we didn't have to fight for supremacy. Okay, awesome, cool.
So, if you had to pick a favorite cryptid, though, which one do you think you would pick, and when are they going to show up in Tom and Artie?
I would say either Mothman or the Flatwoods Monster.
Oh hell
yes.
yeah! Both counts, man.
I did at one time want to do a project that would have more concerned cryptids, and I was actually talking to a friend of mine about maybe pitching and reworking it as a cartoon instead.
Oh, we would love to help with that, so you can always rely on us.
Okay, cool.
We all about it.
Now, on that, okay, so what we have Kaiju Days where the concept shifted, so now we have Tom and Artie, which is about like a multiversal thing, but that brings me to the question of, do you think that there's a President Kaiju universe in the Tom and Artie multiverse?
You mean, would they ever visit the Kaiju Days universe?
Well, I'm thinking that, maybe they would visit the Kaiju Days universe, but what about, the alternate world where it's President Kaiju?
It's possible. I mean, I once passed around ideas of saying that because Big Mama in both iterations, in Kaiju Days and President Kaiju, she is not from Earth. As in, she's not even from that reality. She's from a different reality.
Okay.
Ooh, that's cool.
And she got transferred there. And I was half thinking of saying it as a big brain moment that Tom and Artie were the ones responsible for originally sending her away.
Oh, you got to do that, man.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that this would be a good time to introduce what exactly Tom and Artie is for the listeners.
Yeah, let's talk about that because Mike, maybe I've talked to you about Tom and Artie. I love the concept. It reminds me of several things, but yeah. Tell us about it, Robert.
That Tom and Artie is a comic about two interdimensional best buds traveling across the multiverse, going through whatever adventures and profit they can get. I actually messed up my own elevator pitch there, right there. Let me rewind for a second. Tom and Artie is about two mercenary best friends who travel across different dimensions in search of profit and adventure. Yes, nailed it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Now, also, can we talk about what Tom and Artie are?
You mean the fact that Artie is a black and white cartoon character that looks like he's from the 1920s, and Tom is this anthropomorphic unicorn with military tactical training?
Yes, exactly.
It's great. I love it.
I love the whole concept. I love everything I've ever seen of it is just a great idea. I love, like, you've got so many interesting characters in there, like the two rabbits. It's just great.
I need to think outside the box
correct?
a little bit more when it comes to the settings.
Yeah, but that's Luger and Ruger, correct? The two rabbits?
Yeah.
Now,
Go ahead.
Yeah, you're doing this multiverse project. So my question is, like, how does your multiverse work? Because it seems to me like you might be one of those people like me who kind of, like,
I will say this. If I will say this, there is not another version of Tom and Artie that are running around. It's not going off Rick and Morty rules.
So there's just the one Tom and Artie. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So they are traveling across different dimensions that are restricted in their own environments. Like, sometimes they may travel to areas that are aware of dimensional travel, others that aren't. But if you wanted to get, like, a completely different version of Tom and Artie, like, if you want, like, I don't know, maybe a version where they're both girls, or one where maybe Tom is, like, the black and white character and Artie is regular, that would require reality jumping. And reality jumping in universe is a very dangerous thing.
So it's like jumping membranes, basically.
Well, it's more like reality ripping, because in the present universe, Tom and Artie will say that there are things or jobs that they will not mess with, and some of the people that they will not mess with are reality warpers.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Oh, well, see, because that leads me to the next question, which is, like, what is your belief on the idea of, like, a multiverse or alternate realities? Because you put a lot of thought into this.
In real life?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I do believe in some of those theories.
Now,
I do believe in that theory that says that you possibly are destined to live your life to your natural death. And any time that you are supposedly supposed to die, your consciousness is just shifting to another reality where you didn't die.
Oh, wow. I don't know if we've ever actually asked Mike what his thoughts on the multiverse are, real quick. Do you believe in the multiverse, Mike? Do you think there are other realities out there? Like, there's infinite numbers of you and me going through the same, like, strangely, are they married kind of dynamic, or...
I mean, so yes, there is a multiverse, more than likely, but...
There's only two. The one where we're cowboys and the one where we're all ninjas.
The Futurama theory.
No, but... So... It's hard to say, I mean, because I don't believe they'll ever, like... cross or anything.
Yeah, this isn't like space travel. This isn't something we're going to have in like 20 years.
Yeah, no.
I personally don't think, if you think about it, if anyone were to be able to travel realities, like shift realities, then you would have to ask the question, if that person were to shift realities, would they even remember the original reality they came from? Or would their mind just shift to fit that new reality?
Or do you have Mandela effect?
Yeah, I mean, you just have to think about the energies involved with
there's a lot of energy
to another reality. I mean, it makes warp drive space travel look like peanuts.
Now,
you probably have to like destroy a whole universe to get the energy just to do something like that.
Now, guys, hear me out. This is just a question. I'm throwing this out there.
That's a good story idea, though.
Oh yeah, no.
Someone that wants to end a whole universe to
go
travel to another reality.
It is a good story idea, actually. So, just hear me out here, Mike.
Yeah.
What if you ate like a lot of Taco Bell?
That's a lot of energy, but not enough. I mean, you still can't get to Mars with that amount of energy.
Yeah, but could you jump to the world where like toothpicks were invented like 20 minutes earlier?
Probably not.
Oh man! All right.
So, we've talked about like multiverse theory. We've talked about cryptids. So, Robert, what other weird shit do you believe?
Yes, come on, spill it.
Oh man, I have been asked that question in so long. It's like it's on the realms of people asking you what your favorite dinosaur is, and you have to think about it, like, oh my god, I haven't.
Triceratops. I never have to think about it.
This.
Oh, you suck.
Ankylosaurus.
Yep, we've all got one, man. We're ready. Sorry, man. Hate to ruin your analogy there.
You think about that all the time. Okay, I see how it is.
Yep. Nope. I am 46 years old, going on 10. What's your favorite dinosaur? Triceratops. Don't even finish the question, motherfucker. No.
Oh, okay. I do wonder a lot what is at the bottom of the ocean, or what is deep in the woods of the USA.
Okay.
Because we still have a large portion of this country that isn't explored.
Well,
and it was also, I was researching before. What's it called? Lake Baikal?
Or Lake Volstock.
You said what?
Volstock.
Volstock?
Is that the one in Antarctica?
No, I'm talking about the world's largest, oldest, deepest lake.
Oh, Mike, do you know that one?
It sounds familiar, but
it's located in what is that? It says here mountainous Russian region of Siberia.
Yeah, I know the one. I don't know the name, but they've talked about
Baikal.
Yes, that was it. That's it.
Yeah, it's in southeastern Siberia.
Yeah, that's the one the Russians. Okay, let me rephrase that. That's one people say that the Russians have found aquatic humanoids in that have killed their divers.
I've heard that like alleged story before.
Yeah.
Where'd you hear that version? I don't remember hearing that version.
Oh, I listened to this podcast called Mysterious Universe, and they go into more bullshit than we do.
Now I'm looking at it right now. I don't remember hearing about anything. Oh wait, here's a story. Here's a story here in 1982.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm seeing it now.
Okay, great.
So your interest is in like the unknown corners of our world, then? Okay.
Yeah, and here's a question: what are your thoughts on the bloop?
The bloop? Oh, that is. I think that's probably not some type of huge cryptid at the bottom of the ocean.
So you're going with the theory that it was like a ice sheet sliding
like
off,
tectonic shape plates, like moving. Yeah.
So not Cthulhu farting in the tub. All right.
No. Look. Let's be. I'm just gonna say it here right now. If Cthulhu was real, Cthulhu would not be that big of a threat.
I don't know, man. I bought a Cthulhu now.
In the original story where Cthulhu appeared, he was taken down by a ship piercing his freaking face.
And
yeah, he's just a priest.
Reformed. That's true. He's not a god. He is a priest of the great old ones. Mike, you know this shit.
Only what you've blabbled about.
What I've subjected you to. Yes. Okay, fair. But yeah, okay.
That's why personally someone should explore that concept in the story.
Yeah,
like you have some ancient deity or some ancient evil that's been locked away for eons, right? Finally releases, finally comes back up, but guess what? It wasn't expecting that humanity now has like hellfire missiles and shit like that.
Or they weren't expecting Tom and Artie to blast him with a disintegrator ray.
Oh, that would be a great story there. I was actually just thinking there's just some greaser with a fucking switchblade stabbing him in the head every time he shows up.
Yeah, guys, that's all you gotta do. I just need to stand here for the next 20, I would guess, say around 8 hours. And every time this guy comes up, just stab him in the eye.
Yep.
Yeah, you can call it.
Go to sleep, Mac.
And what happens if we don't do that? Well, he's probably gonna end the entire known universe.
Yeah,
I already have a title for it. You can call it The Ballad of the Eternal Hot Rod Johnny.
We have imbued you with immortality, so you can just stab the shit out of this thing.
We just need you to stab this guy every time he pops his head up.
Hey, Mac, that's not a problem. I'll stand here as long as you need me to. Just make sure I got plenty of gum and a fresh comb.
So I do have a couple more questions, but I want to give Mike an opportunity because Mike, We don't value you enough.
I agree. I think Mike needs to say some things here. Any questions or thoughts?
No. I mean,
there's rum involved, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm just saying. Not really.
But we did post a link to both of his things there, Mike. So feel free to read those when you get the chance.
Sure.
Like I said, I'm a big fan of both. I love also, like on Kaiju Days, Jamil's helping you with that one, right?
No.
No.
No, he's helping me on Tom Minority.
Tom Minority. Okay. Who's helping you on?
Hawk is helping him on Kaiju Days.
Hawk is helping him on Kaiju Days.
Hawk not really as much anymore. Things
We're
had
gonna
changed.
cut this
Things had changed. Things had changed.
Okay.
I'm just saying because Hawk had some real life responsibilities come up, so he wasn't able.
He does sometimes. That
he wasn't able to commit as much to the project anymore. So
that's fine. These things happen.
I hired someone new, which is Ninja Haiku Art, who is taking care of all the art on the project, and she is doing a great job.
And I just want to say...
And also Ronan works with me on the project.
Ronan! Hell yeah. Okay, Ronan is a cool... You know so many talented people, and then you know me. So, like...
you pay them, too, which is, like, really admirable.
Is amazing. That is so much better than my plans.
Am I not supposed to pay them? I never get that when people act like that's a weird taboo.
Because here's the thing.
Broke.
Like, in some circles, like, you would be considered, like, the idea guy. And I put that in quotes, where it's like, the impression is that you're the guy who's trying to get other people to do your stuff. And the impression of that in general is like it's like but the fact is that you like pay people to produce stuff and you do it at a fair rate and everything like that.
You really do, and I have.
It's very impressive. You mean?
Look, I realized this a while ago. Even when I first started writing comics, I always said that to me is that no one's gonna care about your idea unless it gets artwork, because anyone can say an idea.
Yeah.
It takes a little bit more. It takes more to make it happen.
I was gonna say, so what you're telling me, I'm getting this impression that artists cannot eat exposure.
Of course not.
That's a very.
But they can die of it.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
We can die of exposure very quickly.
You can't pay the rent with exposure.
Indeed.
That's a very, very.
Look, I realized, like I said, I realized that a while ago.
Dude, you are the oddball.
At the time, I didn't really have the time investment to get into art. I used to do like a lot of other stuff, to be honest. I wasn't just writing comics in the past. I was also I used to do video editing as well. I used to make machinimas too, like we use like a video. Yeah. When you used to make a video, we use like a video game engine to make something. I used to do that shit like all the time, and I regret deleting my YouTube channel. I had that had all the stuff. Oh,
dude.
I'm still friends with like all the people I used to make it with, and occasionally we're on Discord. We're just like, dude, we should do another thing. We should like go back into Halo, and we should do a new thing in Halo. and I would be pondering it a lot, because in the past few like I would say months, writing comics has been fine. It gets done, things come in just fine, but at the same time I just feel a little bit of less fulfillment about it, because I always feel this notion of, man, I used to do so much stuff, but now I'm just doing, one thing. I used to be such like a big go-getter with stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's like part of the problem with like comics in general. I think David probably will relate to this too. You draw because you need the story out. Sometimes it's more important to, I know me and David both probably prefer getting the story out there, and other people can gum up the works.
Yeah,
I think it's just also the matter of working on it, because I write everything, I direct it with the artists, I make sure everything goes to print, but I write the scripts, and between my day job and it's frankly fallen down to a lot of there's not a lot of time in the day. And I ponder that. I think about that like a lot lately. I'm just thinking, is it so much that there isn't enough time in the day, or am I just not making the time?
It could also be an issue of outlet. Like, if you're going to do the comic, but you might need that side outlet. Because, I do my werewolf story, I do my radio show, I do the podcast, I do the comics, everything like that.
You do your stuff on Haunted MTL.
Yeah, it's just because I'm constantly thinking and creating, and I'm not trying to, brag or anything like that. It's just my mind is constantly working on something.
Oh, no, I totally get you. I've had to pause on writing the Tom and Hardy issue 5 script. Because because I'm finishing up this pitch script for something else.
Right.
And with but the whole thing is that every time I go back to Tom and Hardy script, I have issue 5 so well planned out in my head and written down that I just start writing and everything is just everything is just flowing to me as I'm making it. And it's just I'm just going, wow, this is all just coming through so great. Mm-hmm. And I was happy with how issue 4 turned out. I mean, except the lack of color in it. Me and Sky talked about that, and we were just I was just you know what? Let's bring back color for issue 5 because the comic just feels, it was good that issue 4 got completed so quick. It was a little bit. It was less weight on my wallet because of it. But I was just you know what? We should bring back color because the comic is just way better with color.
Right.
No one complained about the lack of color, but I was just thinking we should bring back color.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we're at the half-hour mark. Robert, this has been a friggin' amazing conversation. How would you like to weigh in on some weekend weird news with us?
Okay, what happened now?
Okay, well, what we're going to do, first off, I'm going to share something in the chat. I'll go ahead and go first this week, all right? Mm-hmm. Mike, I'm going to put a link in the host channel so you can see it, all right? You may have already seen it. I don't know. Okay, I just posted it in the host chat. My bad. And I'm doing it backwards. All right, so I have this week R high strangeness NASA link in comments. This is an image taken by NASA's Mars rover Curiosity on Sol 3466. This is a section of a larger panorama that for some reason has been converted into black and white because conspiracy theorists, I guess, for contrast. And as you can see...
So the way the Mars rover takes pictures, it's all black and white.
Oh, so it's colorized. Filters.
Well, yeah, and doesn't the Mars rover take pictures every 5 minutes?
Well, yeah, I don't know its exact schedule, but the way it doesn't have a color camera on board. It only has a black and white camera.
Okay.
But it'll take, an unfiltered picture, and it'll take it also through different filters, which there's, red, blue, green. I think there's red, blue, green. There could be
so it can be reconstructed into
cyan and all those, but also it does infrared and all these other filters.
Well,
and every picture you see is basically quote unquote artificially colored, but it's just a composite of the colored filtered images.
I would like to draw your attention to this picture I have linked. And the fact that it does in fact look kind of like a doorway with a top and like a little sidewall that's been purposely cut out that goes into the hill, that people are theorizing that this is the entrance to a Martian underground base. I have my own theory, though, gentlemen.
Well, my theory is that rock in the foreground looks like it came from there because you can see kind of a trail.
Are you saying that it crawled out?
No, I'm saying it fell.
You're saying it fell?
Yeah.
And it
just
didn't,
fractured off.
In fact, get pushed out of the way by the inhabitants.
No, the Nazis did not push it out of the way.
I'm not saying it's Nazis for once, goddammit. I've got another theory, and it's way cooler. But, David, give me your theory.
So, as cool as it is that it looks like a door, it is probably just the phenomenon of pareidolia.
That's the thing where we look for patterns.
Yeah, where we look for patterns. So, like, when you look at your faucet and you see a nose and, like, 2 eyes and that sort of thing. It's the same thing here.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, I'm agreeing
with
with David here. I kind of feel that way about this.
No, I totally understand. And my theory...
It's probably not as straight and flat as it looks, but if you also look at the left-hand side of the image, that very straight fissure that runs all the way up.
Yeah.
So it's just showing that that's not a unique feature.
That's a butt crack.
I'm also going to pull up a picture of the same feature because this is a composite of multiple images in color, and you see that the hole is not as deep as it looks. So I'm gonna post that.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at too. That if this was deeper, there would be more of a. There would be a little bit more darkness inside that hole.
Yeah, so about the top middle of this image, you can see where that spot is.
I see it. It's very front and center, but my theory, gentlemen.
Okay.
This is an exclusive to the world at large. All right. So Jesus died, right?
Oh, okay. Just get on with it.
Nope. Okay, so Jesus died, and he came to North America, and he spread his teaching to the natives and created the first Mormons, right?
Okay.
This is the entrance to Jesus's Martian tomb. And he came out.
That's right.
Okay, why would Jesus be a Martian?
He isn't a Martian, but he came and preached to the Martians and created the first Martian Mormons, or as I call them, Marmons.
Marmadukes.
No, Mormons. TM.
The Marmadukes are the royalty of the Mormons.
This just sounds like Mormonism with extra steps.
It is. It's a whole other step, dude. That's the point.
It's out of this world.
They already think they're getting a planet. Well, here are some guys who have one.
Well, I have to say, looking at the rest of this panorama, there's a large number of very angular, like fissures and like quote unquote cutouts.
Mike, do you know what that means? Sand people.
Well, they're not like doors. They're just kind of in different angles. This one just happens to be up and down.
If you had a underground base, why would you make the entrance so blatantly seem like that, though?
Well, this was the exit to the toilet, and you have to be able to find your way back.
This looks like a terrible place for a base because of all the rocks that are obviously falling down and out.
Well,
if there was actually a base on Mars, but the entrance would not be that easy.
This is all the Kevin McAllister booby traps that have gone off.
I'm looking at a very large, precarious, flat rock that is literally over what is assumed to be a door there.
Oh yeah, that's gonna fall.
And this was taken direct, and this was like something directly from NASA's site, right?
Mm-hmm. But
you can take this with a grain of salt. Though.
Look at the beautiful sedimentary striations, though.
No. I was just saying that based off like that theory I had heard where they said that all the pictures that people are getting in the public from NASA
are doctored.
It's doctored.
Oh, obviously.
Like certain stuff is doctored out.
Yes, obviously. It's all a conspiracy.
But, they photoshopped the Bennigans out of the background.
Don't you remember that one guy who he hacked into NASA files because he wanted to find proof of alien life? And before he got booted off and he left the country, he did confirm that he did find some stuff.
Yeah.
So here's something I want to know that no one's really brought up. I know it's not, but this picture looks very wet. I mean, if you look at it, there's all kinds of shiny stuff everywhere, and I wonder if that's just
a very moist Mars.
Yeah, if it's just an artifact of the compositing.
It does. In the foreground here, it looks
like water.
Extremely moist. Nobody's talking about because it looks moist.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the very front of the picture, front center, it looks like water.
Even the dirt has that look, like in a riverbed.
I mean, it's not. I know there's not just water sitting out on Mars unless, NASA's lying to us.
No, never would we imply that.
I think it's just very, very, very fine sand.
That is true.
But I'm talking about like the reflective-y looking quality to it.
No, I agree. It's
looks like it's reflecting the sky, kind of like a shallow puddle of water would.
No, it really
here's
does.
Here's the real theory. What if there are people on Mars, but they're all invisible?
I could get with
Yeah,
that.
like Martian Manhunter?
Yeah. Yeah, they're just invisible and intangible, and we'll never know they're there.
Exactly. They're just fucking with the probe right now.
Yeah, just sitting there going, hey, yeah, you can't see me, dropping my pants.
Green Martian just dipping its balls on the lens.
Oh,
You can't
yeah,
see
man.
them.
The rover appears to be moving slower. Why is that?
My balls are stuck under the tread. Somebody help.
Well, that was
geez.
fun, Kevin.
Thank you. So, Mike, have you got one?
No.
You posted one about
I have
hearings.
I did.
You did.
Where was
on the
that?
10th in Weekend Weird Talk.
I know. I'm getting back there because I was looking at the.
He's scrolling back, activating
I can
the
go.
power
I
of
forgot
time,
about that one.
activating the
Yeah.
power of time travel.
So this was posted on the 10th of May.
On Cron.com.
Well, this was Gizmodo. But basically saying that for the first time
I'm
in
looking
decades,
at my article. Never mind.
Congress will hold public hearings on UFOs.
I'm excited about this,
So
guys.
the hearing scheduled for, it's today, Tuesday, May 17th.
So next week we'll have an update on that.
So it will be held by the House Intelligence Committee's Subcommittee on Counterterrorism, Counterintelligence, and Counterproliferation, which will include the testimony of two top defense intelligence officials. So basically they're saying that because a lot of hullabaloo,
Hullabaloo, and howdy do
has been made about, the recent UAP phenomenon.
Right.
Like, the Navy videos. What was that one called?
The Tic Tac video.
Yeah, the Tic Tac video and all that. They're going to be holding some hearings now. Whether or not people believe the quote-unquote real truth will come out, or as me, you'll be like, it's just weird atmospheric shit that happens. Will yet to be seen. Of course, nobody that's a true believer will think any truth will come out of here.
Yes, we've opened this floor to the public to see which one of you knows too much. There's a room in the floor for all, and a cap in the ass for anyone who knows too much.
This is actually Operation Loose Ends.
Yeah, no, this is,
Yeah, like as soon as one conspiracy theorist who said too much goes to the bathroom, guy just approached him like, hey buddy, I see you dropped something in that toilet right there. You want to take a closer look, maybe? Just get your head right in there.
So you know what I'm excited about? So have you seen some of these public hearings? Like whenever there's a banker who goes into a public hearing or someone who's super rich, you always have a guy dressed as Mr. Monopoly behind him. I'm curious to see what cast of characters we get at the public hearings for UFOs. I feel like we're going to get at least one Wookiee.
oh yeah, there should definitely be some weird guys.
Someone dressed as Darth Vader.
Someone dressed in Starfleet red, blue, and gold, just sitting in the back. I think this would be a fun one to do as an episode next week. Kind of go over the public hearings and that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think we should definitely do.
There's an actual alien hiding in plain sight.
Hey, let's not bring Valiant Thor into this just yet. Now, my thing about this is I'm just excited that this is getting public attention from the government for the first time in God knows how long. I just wish J. Allen Hynek were alive to see this.
My thing is, no matter what is revealed, nobody wins because no one's going to believe a damn thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look, if something had actually happened, it would have been known by now.
Yeah,
It's like the same logic as every time History Channel does a, hey, guess what? We're gonna go out and we're gonna find Bigfoot. But oh no, we don't find Bigfoot. It's just duh, because if someone found Bigfoot, we would have known by now.
Yeah, no, it would not be on Discovery. Nobody would be learning about it from Discovery Channel.
It's the same thing with the Bigfoot documentaries. I watch them all the time. They're incredibly stupid. They're never going to find Bigfoot, but I'm going to keep watching them.
You remember the one where the Native American guy was testing to see if Bigfoot could jump from rock to rock by jumping from rock to fucking rock? Like that was scientific evidence or something?
Like us, you see, this proves our point.
Bigfoot was a person of the same athletic ability as this guy. He may or may not could do it.
Yeah.
I don't know what the result of his findings were.
He jumped from rock to rock, meaning a large ape could probably jump from rock to rock.
Yeah.
That's it.
Unless he was a Vietnam veteran and he didn't have his legs, then he couldn't do it.
Lieutenant Dan couldn't do it.
Man, okay.
Bigfoot in Vietnam.
Look, my leg is still out. Can we not talk about losing limbs for a minute?
You're not going to lose your limb.
But now I want to see Bigfoot in Vietnam, the comic.
That probably exists. I bet you that exists.
Just him in a fucking helmet with like a playing card and just like smoking a cigarette.
The Bigfoot.
Imagine when they first approached him. They approached him and I was just like, Bigfoot, your country needs you. I told you I want to kill for you guys after Korea. God damn it. What we need you for Vietnam.
You were the best fighter pilot we had, Bigfoot.
So if Bigfoot was in both Korea and Vietnam, he definitely didn't help turn those tides, did he?
No. In fact, I told you I did what I could. Win.
We lost Korea. We lost Korea, Bigfoot. Well, I told you I did what I could. You wouldn't let me take out the North Korean leader when I had the shot.
You must have sent
Robert, you and I gotta write this.
Operation Enduring Freedom as well. Jesus.
God, okay. I want a shirt that just says every war we've lost is because of Bigfoot.
I hope we don't send him to Ukraine.
Oh God, Bigfoot.
I'm just picturing they approach Bigfoot in the woods. These like government agents. It's just like him outside of a cave, maybe like chopping wood. And it's just like, we need to speak to you, Mr. Bigfoot. Daddy, what's going on? Stay in the cave, sweetheart. I need to talk.
Bigfoot not understand how to use AR-15.
Bigfoot improvise.
Bigfoot, you've been helping us since World War I. But we really need you this time. I didn't help you in World War I. My grandfather helped you.
My grandfather helped you in World War II as well. Once I got involved, I'm not made for this shit.
That's fun.
But we need you. We need you, Bigfoot. Did you need me when you told me the last time you told me you needed me? You sent me to Scotland to kill the Loch Ness monster.
God, he's my friend.
He was hiding nuclear secrets.
He's my
Bigfoot.
wife.
Because it's necessary.
He was hiding nuclear secrets in one of his caves, Bigfoot. You did what you had to do.
The Loch Ness Monster is a Russian sleeper agent.
And this is why Robert is such a good writer. So, let me see here. David, you've got one for us, right?
Yeah, we're going to go from having a nice, fun conversation about Bigfoot in Vietnam to something very dark and scary.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so this was from a couple of days ago. This was on May 10th. Flight aborted after eerie pictures mysteriously sent to passengers' phone.
Oh, I know this one.
Yeah.
This is new to me.
Okay. A flight was postponed just before taking off after a number of passengers received some eerie pictures on their phone. According to local reports, the passengers were set to travel from Israel to Turkey, but the pilot decided to turn back to the terminal at Ben Gurion Airport amid the panic.
Can I just say, those are not two safe locations I'd be willing to take a risk with either. Yeah.
So the images showed a series of plane crashes with no one knowing who's responsible for sending them.
Do you know why I know it wasn't me?
It's weird because they most people received their request for a photo confirmation in AirDrop. Some approved, some did not.
It wasn't me because it didn't say LOL after the picture. I'm just saying.
Yeah, so apparently 166 passengers received the images.
Jesus.
All at the same time?
Yeah. So they just get this mysterious AirDrop request, then...
So it's AirDrop, so it's only Apple.
Oh, wow.
Then that means everyone on the plane had an iPhone?
Well, it means 166 people had iPhones.
Also, I don't know why I was thinking that.
And
that detail honestly doesn't matter.
Yeah, and it's the most proliferated phone in the world.
Yeah, 2/3 of smartphone users have iPhones.
Not me,
but that really is ominous.
Well, and here's more to it. So, while authorities are yet to get to the bottom of who's responsible, they have ruled out the possibility that it was a cyber attack. Airport Authority spokesman Offer Leffler, which is a great name, said, "This is not a cyber attack. The source of the videos was from inside the plane."
Jesus Christ, it's coming from inside the house.
Yeah, because airdrop is like a short-range standard, right?
Yeah.
You can't just... You can't, I have friends with iPhones, several blocks away. I couldn't just airdrop them if I had an iPhone. I'd have to be near them.
So here's my theory on this. It was a time traveler trying to save the plane.
Why would it be a time travel? Why can't it? Why wouldn't it just be someone who already had knowledge of what was going to happen and sent it out there?
That's way cooler.
Yeah, that we operate on the rule of cool here.
Yeah,
it's either a Johnny Smith style psychic. Or it's someone from the future who lost a relative.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the obvious. 13-year-old little shit that needs his ass beaten.
Yeah, no, that's the most likely case. But I like to have fun with it.
All I'm picturing right now is all I'm picturing right now relating to this. No. All I'm picturing is just
Mike just accused me of stealing
80s,
his shit.
No, I'm just picturing those 80s scenes, those 80s love movies, those 80s romance movies where the guy is rushing to the airport to tell his love how he feels when the music is playing, and it's just this guy's driving through traffic, gets over there to the airport, he's trying to run in security. Security's like, "Hey, where are you going? You don't understand. This plane's about to crash unless I do something."
I was just thinking he
texted the picture of the plane crashing so they come back.
No, he was rushing. He was rushing there, but got caught in traffic.
Oh my god!
He got caught in traffic. Probably had "I Need a Hero" playing on the radio.
Oh god, no!
And then while he's trying to move, he's just fuck it.
Yeah, if I can't go to Turkey, nobody can.
Here's the thing. Picture this: Meg Ryan's on the plane. Tom Hanks sends the crash plane photos.
Tom Hanks sends a terroristic threat to get to Meg Ryan.
To get Meg Ryan back.
Well, no, you can't do that because it wasn't on the plane.
God, he's running on the tarmac next to the plane.
But no, I was thinking that, rushing through traffic, gets through security miraculously somehow without having a ticket, gets to the gate, and there's, the subject of his affection just rabidly pissed off because their flight was canceled.
Oh, wow, that's crazy, right?
Well, no, he didn't have anything to do with it. He's just how I should have told you long ago I love you. And she's like,
"You son of a bitch."
Well, no, it's not his fault. He just happens to be the collateral damage.
Oh, man.
So I don't have an update on this yet, but I figured we'd do something nice and depressing.
Oh, yeah. Well, we always have one that's...
How is it depressing if, no one got hurt?
Because we don't know who did it, and we don't know what the intention was, even though I think me and Mike are both fuck that little kid that did this.
I was just thinking some, asshole. I didn't necessarily think a little kid, but...
Oh, God, they find him, they're pulling him out of the house. It's just a prank, bro!
Or...
Bro!
Or kind of the worst thing, it's just an accident.
Oh, God.
Someone was trying to airdrop that video to their buddy in the next, and they were
wouldn't it be funny if this happened to us while we're on the plane and it went to everybody?
Accidentally click send all.
Oh my God!
Oh Jesus!
I still
kind of like the time traveler idea, though.
Yeah, I think my story is the most fun. The time traveler idea.
It's even cooler if it's Matt Frewer.
David, everything is more fun than reality.
Yes, that is very true.
Wow.
That's why I live in my mind
is
all the
legal
time.
When there's no cops.
Well, that's really true. Hey, where's that gun?
So safely somewhere else.
God damn it, Mike. Okay, so that's our news for the week. David, I think it's time for X to give it to us.
All right. So I've got a thread here from X.
All right, and Robert, this is one of my favorite things. We get to talk about stuff from X.
Okay, well, I guess
like
we're gonna go
ecstasy?
full schizo. We're gonna go full schizo then.
Oh,
Okay.
dude, yeah, no, this is gonna be great.
Okay, the subject title of this thread: Spiritual ally against the wasps.
Wait, what?
Yeah, fuck
Yeah,
the wasps. I
spiritual
hate 'em.
ally against the wasps.
Now, are we talking about white Anglo-Saxon Protestants, or are we talking the bugs?
Well, here's the message.
Okay.
I have to destroy a wasp's nest this week, and was
Still
thinking
unclear.
of invoking an ally to assist me and protect me from stings if it gets nasty. But who? Fairies? A kitsune demon slayer? One of the lesser key mob?
How
So-
about raid? That sounds like a good one to invoke. The power of raid.
I want to hit this person in the back of the head with a shovel.
Well, here's the thing. We still don't have an answer because most white Anglo-Saxon
I know.
Protestants are in a nest.
They
form
it's a
nests,
subdivision.
so-
It's a subdivision, basically. If it's white Anglo-Saxon
a burb
Protestants,
clave.
it's a burb clave. If it's wasps, like the horrid stinging insects that serve no purpose other than to torment mankind, they got a nest too. But yeah, raid will kill them. You do not need it kills on contact.
Yeah, the first reply immediately is a can of raid should be fine.
Yes.
But let's say there's no raid in town. Let's say that like there's a supply chain issue. There's no raid. You have to ally yourself with some sort of mystical or supernatural entity. Who you taking with you as your ally against the wasps?
Mike, you got one?
Yeah, I'm gonna take Aquanet and their friend Bick the Lighter.
Okay. Let me tell you why I'm not going with the Fae. I don't want to watch a bunch of tiny elves get murdered.
Or try to fuck the wasps.
Oh, yeah.
Why wouldn't you? Fuck it.
They're
'Cause-
real horny.
Because I've seen, what was the name of that? Bondage Fairies.
Bondage
yes.
fairies from, oh my God. If you, guys, don't Google bondage
don't.
fairies. It was a
Bad
comic
idea.
from the 80s.
Don't tell me what to do. I'll Google it right now.
Oh, God. Okay, get your
Bondage
VPN ready.
fairy.
Well, just turn your mic off first.
Yeah. Last thing I need to hear is,
Okay.
Okay, let's see. All right, let's see what we got here.
oh, Lord.
So you're not going with the Fae,
This
but who are you
sucks.
going with, Kevin?
Who am I going with? Okay, here's the thing. I'm not going with like some kind of supernatural entity. I'm gonna use some chaos magic, summon a servitor, and I'm gonna summon Batman.
Hey, you guys lied. You said this would be cool. This isn't cool.
I didn't say it would be cool. I just
said
said it was a
don't Google
thing
it.
not to Google.
Well, I Googled it anyway, and I'm vastly disappointed.
Well, okay then. Well, you're a modern internet
I do
user.
see that there was a band here called named Bondage Fairies.
That was a
Oh no, this was a hentai
porno
comic.
hentai,
Yeah, you have your safe
well-
search on, my
Well,
friend.
no,
Yeah.
I see the comic, but I also see if there's a
Okay.
band here called Bondage
Well,
Fairies.
look, you don't know what it was like being young, going to your first convention, and seeing a fucking T-shirt of a mouse fucking a fairy for sale in public.
No, I've had that happen.
Okay, because like that, I'm just sitting here going, I don't know what I
Really, you think it was bad then? You just see cons now.
I've seen cons now, but I mean, like this was like '95, just out in public.
It was a different time.
It really
Okay.
was. Like there was a dude selling bootleg screenplays in the corner that looked.
You want to hear
Shit,
something bad?
Kevin.
You should hear about how my manager he brought his daughter to a My Little Pony convention around
Oh,
around the height of the bronies.
So,
Oh,
how
no.
much was therapy?
ongoing.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Robert, if you had to pick a spiritual ally against the wasps, what are you going for?
Spiritual ally, it could be anything.
Yeah, something supernatural.
Again, I'm summoning Batman as a chaos ritual. Just saying.
Let me think about this real quick. Oh damn, I actually had something for this. I had an answer for this.
Okay.
I would like to summon the power of
Grayskull.
the Naga.
Ooh.
Oh, there you go.
There. That's a good. That's
That's
a
a
good
good
choice.
one.
Nice.
I was I was just going to summon a whole bunch of men in black and just watch them get very confused about the pointy flying things.
Okay.
I would also
What is this thing flying at me? Why does this hurt? Ow, please stop. Why does this hurt? Look at these pins. Stop. Ow, look at my pin.
Yep.
Now, here's the thing. I love the Naga because, number one, they can do something about the walls. Number two, snake tits. Just say it. You know, if we're going with the Naga. Actually...
I'm calling the police.
What? You can't call... Okay, you can call the police. Here's the thing. Do you know why we're all wrong? Because there's only one correct answer to this. Jeff the Talking Mongoose.
Yes, that's right.
Yes, David knows exactly what I'm talking about. The talking mongoose named Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
It's a legit paranormal thing. Look it up.
Yep. Now, there is one other reply. This thread was obviously not engaged with very much.
Oh, God,
because
why would it
it's a dumb
be?
thread. But there is a good reply. Uh-huh. Why not just ally with the wasps? They understand the processes of life pretty well. So turning a potential enemy into a ally, that's a good approach. I like that.
Sure, but there's one problem. Wasps don't work with anybody.
Yeah, they kill everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nope. They're just big flying knives with no sense of morality.
Yes, they're massive assholes.
Mm-hmm.
So that was X. Obviously not the best thread, but hey, snake tits.
Right. Yep. Snake tits. That's the big takeaway. So, Robert, thank you so much for being on the show, man. I really appreciate it, and we'll get you back again here in the future. Yeah. So, that being said, what we're going to do is we're going to put some links in the show notes to your socials or comics, whichever. We've got links to both in the host thing I can put in there, but you want to give everybody where they can find your stuff.
Oh yes, if you would like to find me on Twitter, you can find me at Admiral Lavender. It's like the Clone High thing. If you want to find Tom and Artie, you can find it at Artie Tom. Don't ask why. Apparently, Tom and Artie was taken as a Twitter name. Can you believe that?
Weird.
And Kaiju Days is simply at Kaiju Days on Twitter.
And that's what it's.
Oh yeah, of course, that wasn't taken, which I find weird.
Yeah, that is weird. And of course, you can find links to Tom and Artie, I'm sure, through the Twitter, and we'll have a link straight to the Tapas site. If that's cool.
Damn right it is.
Damn right. So, you can find David on Twitter until he's banned again at HPKOMIC, HP Comic. Mike is here with us every week, like an awesome dude.
There is one more thing I want to say, though.
What's that?
Ooh. Man, the Beeb is listening. You said the NSA is listening to us, but the BBC, they're stealing our show ideas.
They really are. There's been a few articles, but most specifically, Mike, which one did they steal from us?
So, a month ago maybe? Something like that. We did the Ergot with the Dancing Madness.
Dancing Madness, yes.
The BBC just did an article about the Dancing Madness.
Unprovocated, except by us. We're claiming it.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of attention from all the three-letter agencies. I'm just waiting for the FDA to come after us.
Oh yeah.
Dude, yeah, no. FDA,
I'm very unsafe with my food and drugs.
They are, yeah, no.
So
you're saying you'll be easy to poison.
Mike, you get your food and my drugs.
I have my drugs and my food.
Two
things that don't go great together.
Meanwhile, it's just a steak with pills.
Wait a minute. These drugs taste like food. No. This isn't right.
No. What it is, it's just when I'm making a turkey, it's not flavor I'm injecting.
Why do my methamphetamines taste like ham? God damn it. Oh, jeez. Now remember, folks, you're going to want to Google conspiracy about the FDA and ham and your pills. Sorry, I've realized I can do an Alex Jones impression, and I've been getting mileage out of that all day. So, anyway, thank you, everyone, for listening. We'll be back next week with another fun topic. I have no idea what. And we will see you then. So, again, Robert, thank you for being on.
No problem. It was fun being here.
Well, we're so glad to have you. Mike, David, as always, thank you for being on the show. It would not be the same if I did not have you guys with me, because I would have given up by now. Oh. So, thank you, everyone. Until next time, stay safe and stay frosty. Goodbye. Honk honk.